Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord Let's Play. We're joining Andros in the midst of a battle against some Battanian mercenaries here. This is the forest people or whatever faction that are currently, again, working as mercenaries for the Battanians. We're rescuing Achios, I believe, who was overwhelmed by their numbers before we intervened. We actually have the advantage now. And I'm going to see if I can't drop this guy. That was a decent hit, but it didn't seem to really count for much. Cavalry, go ahead and charge. Archers, move up. Infantry, get in the thick of it there. Don't let his men do all the work. Just let them do their fair share. It looks like they're already breaking, the enemy that is. I'm going to do my best to ride some of them down. Just kind of haphazardly switching through weapons here. We won the battle, but let's make sure these guys don't immediately come back to haunt us here. I thought for sure that hit. Apparently neither of those did. Am I just too high up? I can't seem to get a kill right now. There we go. Come on, boys. Stay on them. Don't let them get away. Alright, that's another one down. These guys look to be making a break for it. And they, in fact, made a break for it. They got away. Oh, hello. No, don't let him get away. Oh, well. That's unfortunate. And he's going to make it away, too, it looks like. Nope, I got him. And we've got some cavalry stuck here. Let's do our best to... Oh, are you friendly? Ah, that's the enemy. I guess I should have noticed by the Cairo on his shield, but I forgot I had a Battanian horseman in my group. Okay, we can't hit him like this. There we go. Alright, so the battle is over. And I didn't take any losses there, fortunately. Our friend Achios lost 3, but the enemy got the worst of it by far. Looks like he's grateful for our help. We'll introduce ourselves. I thought we had met him before, but I suppose not. Looks like we failed a quest for him, though. Or somebody in his clan, anyways. I'll take all 12 prisoners, and that will be that. So I think it's about time we returned to Marunath here. I've been trying to level up my party. Oh. We might want to do battle with Muinser there. So, before we get into that, though, I'd like to do a bit of catching up here. So, obviously in the last episode, we were able to take Marunath for the Empire and make it our own town. Now, Garios hasn't been too pleased with us because, unfortunately, in striking at the Battanians' capital, that has really put this conflict on a lot of other factions' radars and, threatened to disrupt the status quo because the Battanians now don't have a capital. Calradia is sort of forced to rule remotely from somewhere else, and it drove the Volandians into war with us as well. So Durthert decided to declare war because, if we take out the Battanians, then all of a sudden the Empire is potentially pushing the Volandians into the sea, and they don't want that. So they're going to make sure that we don't overwhelm the Battanians if they can help it. Not that they particularly like the Battanians, but it is a helpful little buffer for them. Garios is also unhappy with us because we've decided to start taking Battanians into our army, and not just as throwaway frontline troops, but we're training them to be proper Imperial soldiers, and that's something I wanted to show you guys right now. So I'm going to jump into my party, and we have now Battanian legionaries and a lot of other Battanian troops that I'll show you guys. So I've put together this troop tree. My intent is to do this for every culture in the game, so that as we start our own faction and kind of spread, not necessarily imperialism in the form of the Empire, but we're going to try to form our own Calradian Republic, we can bring all those different cultures into sort of a unified army. And to do that, I've created sort of a hybrid Imperial, for starters, Battanian Imperial faction or troop tree, and again, I'll be doing one of these for every faction that we sort of find ourselves absorbing. Started with the Battanians because that's where our first town is, and I'd like to implement them into our force moving forward. If we end up conquering Volandian territory, I'll do them next. And so this is a very large troop tree, much bigger than the vanilla ones, as you may have noticed. The reason for that is because there is no noble troop tree for us. We have just citizens of our republic moving forward, and so we're not going to differentiate. It's all just going to be one big troop tree, and any one recruit can become the best at any one thing if they progress far enough. So we start with the Battanian Foederati. Foederati being basically barbarians that fought for Rome, not as auxiliaries in like a Roman structured army, just kind of barbarians that were given some gold and told to go fight people, is sort of the simplest way to put what they were. So that's our new recruit. And we can recruit these anywhere in Battania. They replace some of the Battanian volunteers, but it's like a 50-50 split or something. They can level up in two different directions. Let's start with the melee tree first. So they go to trained Foederati, and the biggest difference there is they just get slightly better equipment. As far as armor, it's all the same, but they do have a helmet now. They have a better shield, a better sword, and a better spear. So the helmet being kind of the main thing for armor, and then better weapons. Those guys then progress to the Limitani, who are essentially the same troop, just with better armor and again slightly better gear. The Limitani being a reference to the Roman sort of border stationed troops in the later empire that were meant to guard against barbarian invasions. They were semi-professional troops, basically like advanced militia that a lot of them were veterans that were given land, but they were still expected to sort of defend the empire when that area was attacked in return for that land. So the Limitani is the next step up there, and then we move into the professional soldiers, the Legionarii, or the Legionaries. And so I've tried to give them kind of an imperial but still uniquely Battanian look. You may notice I've kept this like tartan cloak on just about everybody to make sure you know that they're Imperials, but this helmet is something I think is going to be fairly standardized. The oval shields that you see on his back, that's going to be fairly standardized as well. And then they can progress either to veteran Legionarii who are armored very similarly. Again, just their equipment is slightly better in terms of weapons, and then their stats are better. Or they can be mounted legionaries, or equites legionarii. And they'll have a longer spear than the foot soldiers so that they can fight more effectively from horseback. They have slightly more protective boots too, since their legs are more likely to be hit. For the legionaries, again, they're going to be present in all of the troop trees. I'm going to change them ever so slightly between each culture just to keep that culture's kind of flavor present in the troop tree. But again, the weaponry, the helmet are going to be fairly standardized. And this part of the troop tree in general is going to be fairly standardized. Now where things get a little bit closer to the original faction is going to be in the opposing tree here. So the Limitani can either go into Legionarii or Auxilia Palatina. So these are auxiliaries. They're going to be more Battanian in nature. These men here being axemen with round shields. And they progress into, again, elite heavy infantry or cavalry, just like with the Legionaries, but these are, again, more Battanian in nature. So the Galfini Signores, who are Falksmen, heavily armored Falksmen, are obviously very Battanian. They do have a shield on their backs. They can't actually utilize it. It's just there to protect their back. Their only weapon is the two-handed falx that doesn't allow them to carry a shield. Or alternatively, we can get some Battanian mounted nobles. So these are just Battanian nobility on fairly heavily armored horses. Not exactly the Battanian specialty, but, you know, we have the elite cavalry class. We'll throw them on heavy mounts and let them do battle. So we'll probably mix and match these to some degree, but the bulk of our army is going to be the Legionarii. Moving on to the middle of the tree here, if we choose to go cavalry rather than the melee infantry tree, we have the Equites Speculatores, which is scout cavalry. They're pretty lightly armored. As you can see, they only have swords and shields small round shields. So they're not going to be super effective at much other than sort of harassing enemy archers and stuff, but that's still an important role to play. These guys then have a choice to either go more or further down the melee cavalry tree, or we can go to shock cavalry. In general, this tree is pretty limited for the Battanians because cavalry is not their strength. For other cultures, I'll expand this part of the tree much more. For example, in the cavalry part, we have the Calradia. They're named for the Contis spear or lance that they carry. These guys, of course, don't actually have one because that's not an item in the game, but I've given them a similar polearm and kept the name. But these guys would, in other troop trees for, like, say, the Volandians, maybe turn into cataphracts or Clibinari or something like that. In this case, though, Calradia is the only shock cavalry sort of lancer type unit that they have because, again, the Battanians are pretty limited in that regard. But if we go the other way, we have the Equites Promoti, who are just sort of a heavy melee cav unit. They have a short spear, a sword, oval shield, and then decent armor, as you can see. And these guys will then progress into the Scholares Palatinae, who in history, the Scholares Palatinae were sort of like an elite guard unit. The implication being a lot of these guys were people that were trying to get into high command positions, and so this was like a very prestigious unit to be a part of and would help progress your career in that direction. In this case, they're just going to be sort of our elite heavy cav. Every culture will have the Scholares Palatinae, though their equipment will vary depending on the culture. The Battanians, probably being the worst of the bunch in this regard, but it's still an elite unit, just not as elite as, other cultures' versions might be. So that's the melee half of the tree. If we decided to go ranged instead, the Federati can become Venatores, and Venatore means hunter. So these are Battanian hunters. They are armed with longbows and spears. I figure they're not going to be equipped like you would expect a soldier to be equipped, whether he's got a bow or not. They have, again, something that you could go hunting with, the bow and the spear, if you're hunting boar or something. And it just so happens that these weapons can be used against human foes as well. From a more meta perspective, the reason I wanted to equip them like this is because I know a lot of people are actually putting polearm units in their archer group to help protect their archers against cavalry. And so I thought it'd be nice to have kind of a unit that could fill both roles without being overpowered, and so I decided to make that the entry level archer unit so that these guys aren't going to be overwhelmingly strong, but at least they offer some utility now. Obviously, in terms of ranged weaponry, the further you go down the tree, the better you're going to get. And also because they have really poor armor, if you try to throw these guys into melee, they're just going to melt against, something of equivalent rank in the actual melee infantry tree. So this still lets them be effective because it doesn't really matter what sort of armor you're wearing. You can hold a spear to prevent a cavalry charge from barreling into your men. And so that lets them have some use beyond just, a stepping stone to the other units. Speaking of which, as they progress, they become Sagittarii, which is, archer. And these guys are the first proper archer unit. They have swords, short swords, they have helmets, they have slightly better bows, slightly better arrows, but otherwise are somewhat similar. And then these guys can then progress into two different units. I'll start on the left with the veteran Sagittarii. Slight upgrade across the board from the standard Sagittarii. Better skills, better gear. And these guys will again progress to the Armagiri Sagittarii, or the heavily armored archers. And as you can see, they are much more heavily armored. Their gear, as far as weaponry, is also slightly better. Skills slightly better. And then finally, the terminus of this part of the tree is the Sagittarii Palatina. If you're familiar with Latin, let me know, is that Palatina or Palatinae? Depending on the word prior to it, the conjugation of this changes. So for like Auxilia Palatina, it's Palatina, but for the Scholares Palatinae, the plural is Palatine. So I'm not sure in the case of Sagittarii if it should have the E or not. So if you know, let me know and I'll fix that. But these guys are the most heavily armored archers, the most skilled. They're equipped very similar to the Scholares Palatina, but obviously they're longbowmen. So they can hold their own in melee if they need to, but they're going to stand out most, you know, sniping people with their bows, of which they have, I think, the best longbow in the game. Obviously very good armor, decent short swords, so this is pretty much your do-it-all archer unit. If you put them on the walls of your towns, they're going to kill a lot of people, and then when the enemy finally does make it to the wall, they'll be able to hold their own in the melee fighting that happens afterward. So this is their sort of elite unit, and every culture's tree will have at least one of these. So this is tier 7 actually, because they're much higher level than everything else. And yeah, so in terms of the Battanian tree, obviously the archer is the best unit they're going to have, and that's the case here. However, if you want to go for a more imperial flavor, you do have the option of training up ballistarii, or crossbowmen. Not going to be the Battanian strength, but they are available because, you know, the Imperials are training them. And so they're going to be equipped similar to the melee infantry tree, just with crossbows. They have a round shield on their back, they have a short sword, they have the crossbow and some bolts. And they start off armored very similarly to the Limitani, just one tier higher, because they are ranged units, so they're going to be a little bit lighter. And then they progress to the veteran ballistarii. Now there's no elite ballistarii unit, this is where it ends, at least for the Battanians. If we were looking at the Volandian cultures tree, it would probably go into a tier 7 unit like this. I also meant to give them the legionary helmet, so I'll probably fix that. But again, these guys are just a kind of upgrade across the board from the other unit. So this is the troop tree that we're going to be working with primarily moving forward. Again, I can recruit these from anywhere in Battania. It's just going to be a little bit harder to find them because the volunteers are now split 50-50 with the Foederati. But overall, I think it'll be a lot of fun to play with this troop tree because we get that kind of Battanian Imperial hybrid going on. And again, as we progress, I will start creating other cultures, variants of that. The tree's going to be very similar, just with, you know, a little bit of modification to suit that culture better. As far as the highly standardized, like legionaries and stuff, we're going to try to maintain this look pretty much across the board. We're going to stick with the oval shield, just like the late Roman legions. They have a pila on their backs. I was trying to give them throwable pila, but I am having issues with the game crashing when I add those. So I'll keep working on that. But they'll have one pila that's a spear, and then like 4 throwable ones or something. And then they have this short sword here. I really like this one because it looks like a gladius, but it's also Battanian. It has kind of a very Celtic pommel on it. So that's their sword, but other legionaries might have slightly different ones. The main thing that will change from culture to culture is going to be the cloak and the torso armor. But we'll try to keep it somewhat similar. It's all going to be, you know, heavy chainmail and things like that, but it'll all be aesthetically slightly different just to distinguish each culture's legionaries. But I'll always make them obviously legionaries in terms of appearance. So we have only one right now, but we do have some Limitani. We have a bunch of Foederati, both trained and untrained. And then we have some Sagittarii and some Venatores. It took me forever to find all these guys and train them up. But we'll keep working on that. And let's see. As far as cavalry goes, this is all from my old party. The rest of which is still in Marunath. I dropped them all off just to make up a garrison there. I'm just an Imperial recruit. I must have got all the Foederati out of there. Let's come back here though. Looks like there's a lot of lords around. One of my villages is being raided, Ebereth. Okay, let's go deal with that, I suppose. Actually, is there any recruits available here before I do that? Because I haven't been in here in a little bit. No, still completely cleaned out. Okay, then let's go save our village. Hopefully this is a party that we can win against. It looks like we can. 73 against 64, and then I guess it's going to give us the militia there as well. Ooh, we'll have another fight on our hands there as well. Okay, so 73. It looks like 24 of his men are Volandian recruits. Another 9 are Sturgeon recruits. And then he's got 7 peasants. So yeah, this is a pretty trash army. Mine's not that much better. Obviously the Federati are recruits in everything but name, so not exactly elite forces here, but still I think we have a few more veteran troops than they do. So numbers shouldn't matter, and then I thought we'd get some of the militia here, but maybe he already defeated it. Either way, let's do this. Alright, so the enemy is going to be on the opposite side of town. I'm going to ask my men to follow me. We're going to circumvent the town here and see if we can set up in an advantageous position on maybe the outskirts over here. I want to be fighting the enemy from at least even footing. Are they actually advancing? Yeah, they are advancing. Okay. Shoot, I thought they might just be sitting there, but maybe not. I don't want to get caught out of position, so I'm going to probably set up here. Yeah, this is as good a place as any because my archers can fire through the town. Infantry, set up here. In fact, get into a... Nope, infantry, get into a shield wall. And block that. Cavalry, get over there. Can you get through there? I think you can. So as soon as their infantry meets ours, I'm going to charge my cavalry in, and they should be able to hit the enemy in the back. Oh, hello. They're coming around this way. I'm going to do my best to slow them down a bit. Let's get my shield up. And let's see, we are winning. It looks like my infantry's been surrounded, though. That's unfortunate. We're losing a lot of men here. And I'm just kind of stabbing wildly. Infantry advance. I don't know where you guys ended up. There was a lot of you in there, but you appear to have either just melted or ran off somewhere. I don't know, honestly. I'm going to lob some javelins in here, though, just to get some kills from relative safety. And somebody's stabbing in the back there. Got peasants all over the ground, and down I go. Alright, let's switch to... Alright, so Ebereth is under siege. Let's go help them out. Not under siege, excuse me. They're being raided. So 70 against 64. I'm guessing that this troop, or this army is mostly recruits, as the Lord's armies typically are. Yeah, it looks like there's 30 recruits and then another 11 peasants. So even though they outnumber us by 6, I think the quality of our troops are a little bit better. Not much better, but still better. Alright, let's move in to help. Okay, where's the enemy? Directly across town. Let's start moving this way. Or actually, you know what, just follow me for now. Are they actually advancing? They might be advancing. It's hard to tell. Yeah, they're definitely on the move. So archers, why don't you guys set up here? Infantry, go about there. In fact, why don't you set up in a shield wall? Just so you're a little bit more resilient. And go right about there, I think. Cavalry, set up over here. Hopefully the archers can see well enough. The enemy is going to be coming into view shortly. I wonder if we should push up further. That's a little bit of a more narrow choke point, but it looks like they're all coming straight on anyway, so I don't know that it matters. The cavalry are going to be able to charge straight through that flank there. So, all in all, I think we're in a decent position. Archers, I'm actually going to move you up a bit more. Okay, so here they go. Cavalry, go ahead and engage. Oh, there's the enemy cavalry there. Okay, the infantry are locked up. That was a horrible miss. Oh, I just killed 3 people with one swing right there. Oh, 2 more. Wow. I'm just butchering. Infantry, advance. My cavalry are already charging. I'm losing people to recruits, unfortunately. Where's my throwing weapons? Let's lob some into this crowd. Should make it easier to get some kills. Oh, did the enemy just... Okay, no. I thought they might have decided to rejoin the battle, but it looks like they just decided to retreat in a different direction. So I think... Oh, nice. Got him with the backswing there. I think this is about over. He just got shot by my guard there. No, we're still losing people. We're still losing people. Let's get back to the main battle then. Yeah, there's still people chopping away in here. Namely that crossbowman. Oh, hello. Glad I lifted my shield there. I don't think he actually... I think he missed, but it looked like he may have done me in if I wasn't more careful. Yeah, so their cavalry is causing some problems for us still. So we should endeavor to finish them off. Are you trying to flee now? Well, the battle's over, but I'd like to eliminate as many of them as I can. Oh, a little poke there was enough to do it. And can we get this guy? Looks like we can. I wonder why they're so slow. Oh god, fighting from horseback with spears, unless it's a head-on charge, is just not fun. Even the AI really struggles. Alright, I think that's it. Oh, maybe not. Anybody else trying to get away? Okay. So, I lost 12 there. Fortunately, it was all my new Battanian troops. Luckily, the Legionari survived. Legionarii, excuse me. Legionarius, I guess, is more accurate in this case. I made all the names plural, but there's only one of them right now, so it would be Legionarius. But yeah, we lost 12 dudes. That's a bummer. Okay, Amalgan, are you honorable? No. What clan are you part of? Alright, so Decourtain. Decourtain? I don't know. Anyway, he's the son of Ingalther, who's a major figure in our previous, or our other campaign. But not really anybody of consequence right now, and since he's not a particularly honorable character, I'm just going to take him prisoner. It's one less Vlandian to worry about. I'm going to collect all these troops here. They'll be good to throw in the garrison if nothing else. And then we'll grab all these for the roguery and money. So this Vigla recruit's going to become cavalry now. We'll get our second Legionarii. Let's go 2 more Limitani. I'm probably going to stick with melee infantry for these guys now since we lost so many of them. And it looks like we just got our first veteran archer there. I'll bring you up to here. Everything else we picked up, I'm going to throw in the garrison. That's fine if we're over. Take all the loot. And since we're at a breath, let's see if there's any recruits available. Only one of the Federati. I'll take him, though. You know what? I'm going to take all of them. And I'm just going to leave them in the garrison. Family feud, huh? So we're going to lose some on our way here, possibly, but looks like, I think we made it with everybody. I don't think anybody actually escaped. So we'll ransom everyone except for the Lord. We're going to try to keep Amalgan out of the fighting for at least a little while. He'll probably escape immediately after me saying that, but still, I'm going to recruit both of them to throw in the garrison. Everybody else can get ransomed. Sturgeon Peasant, probably just going to ransom you. I don't really care. A lot of good units in here. I'm just not patient enough to try to recruit them. Okay, so that works for me. 2,000 gold. And then we'll go to the keep. We'll leave everything that we just picked up in the garrison. So the looters, the militia archers, all of this stuff here. Cool. So that brings our garrison up to 109. And then we have another 57 militia. So not too bad. That's like, what, 166 troops? We're getting there. And the militia increases by 9 every single time. So while we're in town, there's something I wanted to talk about. And that is governing our settlements. So the way I'd like to do this is inspired directly by one of my favorite warband Let's Plays that I've ever watched. And that is Arcade Knight's old Imperial Rome Let's Play. And in that one, he held senatorial elections for basically like governor of a region. What I'd like to do is something similar, but institute it for governors of towns, or my settlements, essentially. Because Marunath can have one governor. Every castle that we hold can have a governor. So, we're not necessarily a republic yet. Obviously, we're still part of Garios's little wannabe empire. But eventually we do plan to institute some sort of republic government, and there's no reason why Andros wouldn't sort of start that within the towns that he is the lord of. And so I think this is a perfect opportunity to kind of test this. And what I'd like to do is have you guys come up with a couple of governor candidates in the comments. And if you've ever seen that old Arcade Night Let's Play, basically we write a little bit of like a speech regarding like what your character plans to do or why they're worthy of being the governor. And then in the following episode, I will pick like the best 2 or 3. I'll read them in the video with like a mock-up of the character, and then hold a straw poll for you guys to vote for who should be the governor. And so you guys are going to represent both the voting base of Marunath as well as the candidates. The one thing I will say, or the one limitation that I will make for candidates, is that they do need to be of the culture that the settlement is from. So Marunath is a Battanian town by nature. Obviously it's being ruled by an Imperial right now, but it's a Battanian town. So all the candidates from Marunath should be Battanian. And that's for roleplay purposes, because we're trying to pretend like, you know, these people are prominent figures within the town that are, you know, deciding to run for this candidacy, but also for more metagame reasons, in that if you have a governor that's from a different culture, you'll take penalties and stuff, versus if they're the same culture, things go a lot more smoothly. So for both of those reasons, I'm going to say that for this particular one, all the candidates need to be Battanians. If we were to take a Volandian city, then they would need to be Volandian, etc. So, I figured this would be a fun way to get more characters of yours into the game. Obviously, it's not the ones that you guys have been role-playing all along here, but it's just, you know, another chance to kind of get people involved. And that's always the most fun part about these. So, if you are interested, please come up with like a short little blurb about like your character, why they're, I guess like a short little speech why you should vote for them, essentially. And then I'll pick 2 or 3. I'll read them in the next episode, and then you guys can vote between the 2 or 3 for who should be the governor. And I think that'll be fun. We'll test it here. If it doesn't work so well, then I'll have to come up with another way to go about this. But I'm hoping that this can be a nice little preview for how we handle things down the line in this campaign. So you guys will be my Republican voting base type thing. Anyway, let's leave Marunath now. And I need to do a bit more recruiting. I should see if... We were already at Ebereth. Let's try Kafal. I want to see if I can pick up any more of these troops. I should have tried Dalmengus too. I don't remember if I did, actually. Let's see. There's one here. And, you know, I'm going to continue just grabbing the volunteers, because I can at least... It prevents my enemy from recruiting them, first and foremost. But I can just throw them in the garrison, and at least that's some additional bodies to deter people from attacking it. Alright, I caught these looters with Krotor's party. I'm just going to send my troops. We did take 2 wounded there. That's fine. I guess I'll take them prisoner. And we have another level up. Nice. 2, in fact. Oh, hello. Aaron has an army that is rushing off to defend Uthalaim Castle. And I'm wondering if that's an army that we can defeat. I'm a little bit under strength right now, just due to the wounded that I have. Okay, he managed to intercept us there. Right, well, we're going to have to fight this. I'm not exactly going to try to flee. I would probably lose too many people. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, looks like we got away, but we lost a bunch. Yeah, I know. I didn't intend to do it. Apparently our relations went up by 12 there, by telling Valos that we were never going to do that again. But yeah, I didn't mean to run away. I just wanted to see how many men I would lose. Unfortunately, I lost a bunch. So that's going to set us back quite a bit. Nothing to recruit there. Let's go after this little group here since I can't do anything about that one. And we got you. What do you got? Okay. Typical hidden hand troops, most of them being recruits. But we outnumber them more than 2 to 1, so we should be fine. Oh, we're fighting in a very narrow mountain pass too. Alright, archers, get up on this incline. Infantry, set up here. All, however many of you there are. Okay, I completely missed. Where did you run off to? That's you, okay. Alright, that's a decent little hit there. He's actually causing more problems than it seems like because... Okay, now he's down. I was going to say, infantry advance, cavalry charge. My archers were shooting at him, or at least turning around and not firing at the actual threat, which was his party. I'll get one of you, cut a couple of you down. Oh, I thought for sure I had him there. Damn. Okay. Well, that is it for them. Let's just cut this guy down. Oh, somebody already got him, so that's the battle. We did lose one, a Limitani, okay. But we did get some level ups or something. We'll definitely take you prisoner. And I'll take all of them prisoner as well. We'll replace that that Limitani we just lost. And I think that's it. A lot of throwing knives there. Cool, so somebody leveled up. I didn't catch who it was. Oh, I did. Oh, I didn't level up. Well, maybe I did. But my polearm skill went up. It looks like standard bearer is the only option we have. An additional 15% of morale to troops in formation at the start of the battle. Okay, cool. As far as the focus point, I think we need to spend it in stewardship because we're getting pretty close to our limit there. Tactics is getting a little bit close too, but this is leveling up much faster. Regarding trade skill, I do need to level this up. I haven't really been doing any trading though. My main concern is I want this perk, the one that lets you trade settlements, because moving forward I'd like to basically keep, especially when we're running our own faction, I'd like to keep everything that I take. Or basically everything at all I want to give to myself, and then I'm going to distribute it to who I see fit rather than letting the voting mechanic do it, because I don't like the voting mechanic that is currently in the game. So I would make sure that everything is distributed logically. I don't want people having territory all over the map. So I might cheat this perk into my skill set just so that I can trade settlements. I don't know if I need to give myself enough XP to do that, or if there's a way through the console to just give me that perk. But we'll see. For now, though, I'm going to do that. Does anybody else have anything? Doesn't look like you have anything. No. Okay. You have a focus point, Bruticus. So it looks like you're primarily fighting with your one-handed sword. Doesn't really look like he's fighting with his spear much. I'm guessing, yeah, because he's got a shield and then he's got the standard, both of which take up the offhand slot. So, yeah, that makes sense. I guess one-handed, since that's what he's leveling up the fastest. Valos, you don't have anything going on. Padmos does. Looks like crossbows. Okay. So, faster reloads. Nice. I'm happy with that. So that's going to be it. Alright. Any recruits here that I can take? No, unfortunately. We don't have high enough relation to grab this one. You know what? I did say I was going to grab all the volunteers, so let's do that at least. Oh, here we go. There's a Federati. We'll grab you. And it looks like we have a couple of Legion of the Betrayed running around on behalf of Battania. What are your troops looking like? Ooh, that's actually a pretty strong army for the size. So he's got 4 Triari, 12 Principes or Principes and 13 Hastati. But all of those units are pretty decent. Obviously, the Hastati being the worst of the bunch, but they're still better than a typical recruit. So they could probably beat us. And in fact, I thought for a second there they might try. I'm not going to do that for you. I just want your recruits. I guess it's back to 50 at least. Nope, I wanted to click on the looters. I want to see if we can run them down. Desporion's creating an army. Okay, I'm going to send these guys in. We'll take 5 wounds, it looks like, but still defeated them pretty handily. We'll get some prisoners, get some experience. I'll take them prisoner. Whoops, I guess that click didn't register. Oh well. Let's get over here. You know what? Oh, I was going to try to save you, but then you just got overrun by Tormund there. Altenos, you better make yourself scarce. I don't think I can help you against that. Actually, 55 recruits. Maybe I can. Okay. Yeah, he thought better of it. Declaration of Peace. Calradia of the Battania. Calradia of the Battanians has signed a declaration of peace with Western Empire. Okay, so we're not at war with the Battanians anymore, but we're still at war with Valandia. So Marunath is safe from Calradia and his retribution for now. Village being raided. Ebereth. Man, I feel like that's going to be a pretty common thing. Let's see. Oh, cool. Got 3 Federati there. Some Imperial recruits. Let's go ahead and leave all the Imperial and Battanian recruits in the garrison here. You guys should be up here somewhere with the rest of the infantry. That brings us up to 114. Plus however many are in the militia. While I'm here, I'm going to drop Amalgan in the dungeon. We still have some Battanian lords in the dungeon as well. Now that we're not at war, I should probably ransom them. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to take them all into my party here. And I'll see if it'll let me ransom them. Otherwise, I might just have to cut them loose. It looks like I can. Yeah, I can. Cool. So yeah, they're no threat to me anymore, at least not right now. So I'll take the money instead. And I don't know if we're like losing relation for having non-enemies in there, so probably better to just get rid of them now. Plus we get some nice roguery from that. Okay, I already cleaned out the recruits, right? I sure did. Let's see about maybe some armor up. I don't know what they're going to have available in here, if anything. Some Highland scale armor of both varieties. By the way, I should mention the Battanian legionnaires are wearing a variation of this Highland scale mail, but it's not the same armor. You can see this one is only 24 body armor, 4 leg, and 2 arm armor. The one that they're wearing is actually a custom item that I made. It looks identical to this. However, we can roleplay or whatever that it's got maybe some chainmail lining under it or something. The body armor on it is 40, and then the leg and arm armor are 10. So it's a little bit more robust protection overall that befits a legionary. We didn't want to, you know, send them out there with kind of like mid-tier stuff like this, especially the elite ones, or the veterans, excuse me. So, yeah, just letting you know they're not, you know, walking out there in like low-tier stuff. They actually have some pretty decent armor. It just happens to look identical to that mid-tier stuff. How do we end up with all these random tunics? I guess we were fighting more different types of units than I thought. Actually, those woven bracers might be worth giving to somebody. If only just to keep things a little bit unique looking. I'll hold on to those. Okay, how about shields? I don't need either of those. Don't need these throwing knives. Cool. I've already done a bit of smithing, so I don't have the stamina to do that right now. So I think we'll just go back to recruiting and trying to level up this army a bit. Ebereth is under attack, right? I should go help. Let's grab you guys. I'll grab all of you. Again, it's keeping other people from recruiting him, if nothing else. Altenos. So, Ragnvad of Sturgia has declared war on the Southern Empire and Regea. Interesting. Altenos, I'm actually going to ask you to join an army with me so that we can defeat these guys. Let's see. Distance, 3 hours. Oh, apparently you're already part of somebody else's. Okay, then I can't do that, can I? How many troops do I actually have? It's like 50 something. I'm going to have to wait until the rest of my party recovers. If I go in there with 56, I might have a chance. But if I go in there with 47, probably not. Even if most of his army is recruits. So, we've got some bad news. We've got Belgier over here from the Vlandians marching to Marunath with a force of nearly 550. I'm guessing a large part of that is recruits. Yeah, 265 recruits. Another 26 peasants as well. But yeah, that's still a lot of people, and they're coming to take Marunath, as you can see there, besieging Marunath. So I am here with my men, and then I was able to get Achios here as well. I called some other lords too, but they didn't arrive in time. So, well, I mean, they still could, potentially, but they don't have long. So we have 310, plus another 14 that are wounded. Actually, it looks like another 20 that are wounded that could join us. So 330 against 550 to defend this place. I think we might be able to hold. Again, not all of our force is recruits like a good part of theirs is, so maybe we can do this. We might also get reinforcements. You know, like maybe Gario shows up with a large army, but for now, it looks like we're going to have to hold out. So let's wait here, and it looks like my leadership just went up. Yeah, we're under siege. I'm aware. My leadership went up. Cool. We're going to join the defense. And am I able to do anything? Looks like it's automatically building a catapult. I can't do anything else, though. Belgier is leading this army. I wish I could talk to somebody else. Let's have a word real quick. Yeah, I wish I could talk to Ingolther, but it's only going to let me talk to Belgier. Okay. We'll introduce ourselves. He says he's Belgier of the De Fortes. Fortes, I don't know. Anyway, he's the Lord of Oxhall. Okay, interesting. So, what do you know about Pendrake? Nothing. Durthert knows, and Ingolther knows too, but not gonna let me talk to him. I don't really have anything to barter other than money, and I don't want to pay them just to go away, because we might be able to defeat them. So we'll just beg our leave for now. So I've never defended against a siege before, but if you guys know, is there a way for me to control what gets built here? Because it seems like I don't know. Maybe Achios is the one commanding, but he shouldn't be. I'm the one leading the army. Or maybe it's because my character is not set as the engineer, but I'd like to be able to determine what gets built here, because I would really prefer that we have, say, a ballista, because a ballista is going to be more effective against their battering ram than, say, a catapult would be, at least in my experience. But it doesn't look like it's going to let me choose what gets built. It's just going to be all catapults, which is unfortunate. Looks like the Khuzait have gone to war with the Aserai. That's interesting. It's not going to really affect us, but still be interesting to see what plays out east there. So it looks like the attackers have abandoned the siege. I don't know that I'm ever going to get to fight a siege defense in any of these playthroughs, unfortunately. The AI is incredibly passive about it. They don't ever seem to want to assault unless there's an overwhelming chance of victory, which is, I guess, intelligent of them, but also not very fun in gameplay terms, because then you're never going to fight a winning siege defense, because the AI is just never going to attack you unless they know they're going to win. But so Apis here has shown up with a decent sized army, not nearly big enough to defeat this force, so I don't know why they decided to break off. I guess if they all merged, maybe. But even still, this is a pretty large army, and if they had assaulted earlier, they had a chance to take this, but of course they didn't. So we're going to return to Marunath for now, and I'm going to wait here just to see what plays out outside. So we're going to have a pretty large battle there. And if I leave with my 200, not Marunath, I want to see what's happening in this battle. Okay, so we have 460 Imperials against 514 Volandians. I'll lend my 200 to that, since they are fighting in defense of my city after all. And we will join the attack. Okay, so this is kind of weird in that I'm commander of the forces that were under me prior to the battle, but not the overall forces. So even though it's putting me up top here and I command all of this, this is only a fraction of what the actual army is. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm just going to delegate command to the AI for everything, except for the cavalry and horse archers are going to follow me, and they're going to be my personal guard. But all my infantry and archers should basically just fall in with the rest of the army. And that's going to be probably the safest way, because the infantry really needs to be massed up to be effective. But obviously, having multiple groups of cavalry can be really useful. And then, if I need to, I'll split my archers off and put them in a more advantageous position. If not, then we'll just let them do whatever the other archers are doing. It looks like... Oh, this is a really interesting map. So the enemy is holding over there. We can get in behind them. Oh boy, you guys couldn't just do the bridge, huh? Oh boy, that's a lot of enemy cavalry. Let's turn around. Fall back, men, fall back. Fall back. We want none of that. Okay, so I'm actually going to pull my archers off of this group. Maybe, possibly. Maybe not. Oh, God. Alright. We need to defend this flank, but I also don't want to be fighting a much larger group of cavalry than we need to. I'm going to need to turn... Hold on a minute here. So I find that having the banners on kind of takes away from the overall aesthetic of the battle, but at the same time, when you have all these different parties involved and some of them are mercenaries from other cultures, it's too hard to keep track of who's who. So we'll turn it on. That should make things a little bit easier. My God, there's light Volandian cav running around everywhere. It looks like the main forces have met. These guys are all hostile, so let's run them down. But I think the battle's happening behind us. I thought it was going to happen at the river. Well, I got one of them. Alright, turn around, guys. We need to help out over here. Apparently I didn't hit anybody there. Okay, yeah, it took place right here, I guess. I don't know how I missed all of it. Let's see, that's all the archers. It looks like they're running down people in the forest here. Do you guys have a plan? Like, what are you doing right now? I think they're just going after random enemy cavalry units. Oh, I cut down somebody I wasn't even aiming for. Ran right into my sword. That's always nice. Who are you guys shooting at? Okay, this person. I apparently missed. Oh, no. Get the shield up. Too many lances. That hit the horse, but not the guy. Should probably get my spear out, just because there's a lot of people running around trying to couch lance me. I'm stuck. That's unfortunate. Let's try to maybe lure them into the infantry, possibly. There we go. There's one. Oh, I got a gallant. That's a pretty strong piece off the board. See if I can get this guy maybe trapped. Nope, I'm just completely whiffed. Come on, move. Move, move, move. You guys are friendly, so let's come about. And who's not friendly in here? That really not hit you? It looked like it went right through his body. Okay, well that's a little bit of damage. Somebody on foot over there too, but I'm more interested in riding this cavalry down. Oh boy. Here comes a whole hell of a lot of peasants. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I thought I could maybe barrel through them, but I didn't have enough speed. Yeah, but it looks like I've got plenty of backup, so let's get in here. I see some of my men fighting on the bridge there. Very distinctly Battanian units. Yeah, there he is. One of the Limitani. I wish I had a bow or something. Can't really get in there with my melee weapons, and I already threw all my javelins. Let's clean up some of these crossbowmen down here. That's something I can do. None of them have pole arms. Well, some of them have pole arms. Who killed my horse? How? I didn't even see anybody, like, shoot crossbow bolts at me, and he didn't have his sword out yet. Well, luckily, my cav is going to surround me here. Unfortunately, they are also blocking my swings, which is a real bummer. Oh, down I go. Let's tag in as... Who is this? This is one of the lords, it looks like. God, the lag is real right now. I'm getting shot from all over the place, too. Oh, that was right in the face. That also was in the face, but it apparently didn't do much. Alright, you're dead. You're not dead. Oh, and again, I just kind of died. I'm not sure. Received 24 piercing damage. It must have been a crossbow bolt that I just didn't see coming. Oh, that guy's dead. Alright, I'm just going to keep switching. That guy's also dead. God, can I be a peasant that's not about to die? Or just anybody else? I'm not sure how those guys ended up like way the hell out there, or what's even going on. Because we have overwhelming numbers at this point, but somehow there's still a pocket of enemies that is just crushing our low tier stuff. Oh, I thought for sure that was going to hit. Alright, let's be this badass legionary. He's not even legionary, actually. I think he's just regular infantry. But, yeah, we'll charge in here. Where are you guys going? What are you? Trained infantrymen? Okay, that's what we are then. There it is. Finally. Alright. We'll call it. So 10 of my men died. 3 Limitani, 3 Federati, so we lost, like, what, 3 recruits? Oh, that's unfortunate. Could have been worse. We could have lost the cataphracts, so... Yeah, could have been a lot worse. Okay, you are welcome for the aid. Clan Varos, okay, Apis Varos. That brought us up to almost 40 charm. We have Ingolther. I'm going to take him prisoner, I think. I'd like to talk to him. Unfortunately, you can't talk to your prisoners. At least not any more than basically just telling them to stay in line or whatever. You can't have the same conversation options is essentially what I mean. But that's a real bummer because he has information about the Battle of Pendrake that we could use. So Marunath is safe once again. It looks like there's a celebratory tourney happening here. I'll probably disband my army right now just because I don't want to keep spending influence to keep them around. But you know what? We've got a good number of guys and the cohesion's still high. Maybe I should go on the offensive real quick. Like we could go hit a castle or something. Well, either way, I've got some business to take care of here first. Alright, so apparently Thractoria Castle fell to the Vlandians, and Durthard's army has moved off east. There's really not much here protecting it, just 79 that they left in the garrison plus 3 militia. And I still have like 250 men here, so I'm going to go ahead and besiege this. And I think if we are very quick about it, we can probably snag it before anybody comes to reinforce it. I'm not even going to bother with siege towers or anything. We're just going to build a ram and probably rely on ladders. So we'll do the ram, and I don't think I'm going to bother with anything else. I think, again, we should just be as quick as possible. We have numbers, we have troop quality, so it's just a matter of speed. So far, everything looks good. I don't see anybody coming to the rescue. So as soon as we can lead the assault, we will. Or I guess, excuse me, as soon as this is built. The ram, that is. Because we do need a ram. Golorin is pretty quick, so if we can finish this off before they... Golorin is like right here, I think. Amalgan is... I thought he was the one actually besieging it. Or sorry, raiding it, so maybe he stopped. Okay, we have a ram. Let's go ahead and lead the assault then. Okay. Again, we didn't bother building anything else, so this is all we've got. Oh, this is an interesting layout. So we're going to have to push this up and then along the wall. We're going to get murdered right here. We'll need to be very aggressive. Does it show you where the ladders are? Because I am the only one that's going to start on horseback. So I need to ride around and get those up as soon as possible. I see that there's 2 here. I assume that there's 2 elsewhere, but I don't know where. Maybe there isn't. Yeah, maybe it's only the 2. Maybe a tower would have been ideal here. It looks like we could have built a siege tower there. But yeah, I'm not seeing ladders that go up anywhere else. I guess this would be the only part. Everything else is just too tall, probably. Be nice if there was ladders in here at least, just to give us a few more entry points, but... Alright, let's do it. Okay, so for the most part my men are just going to do their own thing. I am going to rush on over here though, see if I can get this up. I don't know where they're going. I guess they're just getting 2 various defensive points. I'm going to ride over here and dismount real quick. Let's get this on up. Looks like these guys might be doing the same. Yep, perfect. Cool. So they're going to have all that under control then. I'm going to ride over here. Oh man. This is not ideal. Yeah, there's definitely no ladders up here. I'm going to get murdered if I do this. Let's not. I thought I might be able to pick off 1 or 2 of them, but I don't think so. So are you guys storming something that I'm not aware of? I'm gonna hop over that fence. And oh yeah, okay. Apparently there were ladders back here. They just weren't very visible. Well, it looks like there's plenty of people going in that way. I don't need to help them. So I'll swing back around this way. I don't even know if there's anybody left to rush through the gate if we beat it. No, yeah, apparently there's a pretty large contingent of men. We still have people going up the gate that way. Some sharpshooters dealing out kills, but eventually they'll be overwhelmed. I'm going to go ahead and hop off my horse here. Still have my javelins. Let's get my shield out. And I thought I saw somebody shooting at us over here. Maybe they ran. Here we go. Is that a little bit short? That looked... Oh yeah, that was on target. Nice. Oh, look at this guy. Yeah, that wasn't the best move. Oh, they just opened the gate. Look at you. Ah, pikeman. Just cutting and running. Okay. You could have left it open, buddy. Come on. Almost through. Once the gate falls, the siege is usually over. I find... I've been playing a couple of custom battles trying to defend against, you know, sieges. And I find that if you take the battering ram out, you've got a much better chance of success. Yeah, this is over. I really do like this map, though. Though, they don't seem to have defended this very well, because as soon as they started rushing up here, it looked like it was over. There was ladders right there. That's a major weak point in this castle. The main gate is probably one of the stronger setups that I've seen, because the enemy has to basically cross along a whole lot of a whole lot of your archers in order to get by there. I want to run up there real quick if I can. How do you even get up there? Can you get up there? There's like no way to the top of that wall as far as I can tell. Alright, so here it is. Yeah, so this is a deadly approach if they were able to take advantage of it. Now, the AI is typically too dumb to do that. And it looks like they didn't really have the men either, because there was just nobody up here. But if you had some, like, elite crossbowmen up here, as the enemy's pushing that battering ram, you're just going to completely disintegrate any unit that's escorting it up. And then if you had maybe a ballista up on that tower just to deal with the ram itself, that's pretty much game over for the attackers. Looks like they did have one. I don't know that it ever fired, though. I certainly didn't see it firing. What's the range of view on this? It's probably not the best place to put it, to be honest, because you can only fire on the ram along here. And then as soon as, you know, it's actually a threat to you, you can no longer fire. So, yeah. Probably not the best place for it. Alright, so how many did we lose? I lost 4. Looks like 2 Limitani, a Legionarii, and one of my only Royal Guard that was left. We'll take all the prisoners. We'll level everybody up. Yeah, just keep going with that. Need to get more recruits, though. Oh, are you the only Limitani that's left? Damn. Vlandian Squire. I don't know about you. I'm kind of tempted to take the Gallant. And I guess I'll take the Squire. At least it's more cavalry. Okay. I am going to pass this one. I could keep it. I still don't know if there's any downside to doing this. Keeping the things that you take. Obviously, I did that for Marunath because I wanted it. Thractoria Castle, as cool as it is, I don't want to be the only one holding fiefs along this border. So I'm going to pass this one and let it be voted upon. Meanwhile, we're going to try to run down Amalgan here. He was the one that was attacking Golorin. Yeah, okay, you do that, buddy. I'm actually going to stop in here since he ran through it. There's really nothing to do. Okay, then we'll stay on you. Cool. Right, as much as I'd like to auto-resolve this, I'm probably going to have to fight it, because anytime that you fight things that aren't looters, there's a chance that your elite troops die, despite, you know, the enemy being massively outnumbered. So, we're going to have to run in here. Probably would have been worth trying to ask him to surrender or something, but in this case, we'll just fight it out. It's more entertaining for you guys, right? That's why we're really here. So, enemy is vaguely in that direction. See if we can't find a good staging point here. This little plateau's not bad. I don't know where you're going. I thought for sure. Okay, yeah, you're staying still. I thought they were gonna just like pick a spot and stay there, and it looks like they did, but for a while it looked like they may not. Kind of like this over here. Let's take the infantry and we'll set them up down there. This rock unfortunately blocks any archers from taking advantage of the high ground up here. So you guys are gonna have to go over there, I think. Sorry, don't mean to keep running you guys around. Yeah, it's gonna have to be here probably. At least the trees will give them some cover. Infantry start moving up to meet the enemy. Cavalry, get out there. Go a little bit further. Alright, infantry, go ahead and advance. Cavalry, go ahead and charge. Oh Jesus, archers, move back. It's too many polearms, too many polearms. Infantry, you advanced in the wrong direction, you idiots. Alright, yeah, pull back. Keep moving, archers. They're going to stab you in the back a little bit. But, you'll be alright. The infantry's going to overwhelm them in a second. There we go. Okay, I got one. Oh, going for a sword there, but I got a javelin instead. That's fine. Kill you anyways. Oh god, right? I always get him right in the butt. Okay. Archers have fallen back to safety. They probably would have won that fight anyways, but it wasn't worth throwing down like that. It's just not using my archers effectively. But yeah, the infantry betrayed me there. I told them to advance, and they advanced after the enemy cavalry, I think. Or maybe the enemy archers, because they went right when the enemy infantry was left. We didn't really lose anybody, though, so that's cool. Looks like one person died for the whole party, and it was just one archer. Alright, so Amalgam, we meet again. I'm going to take you prisoner once more. We have met him before, right? Kind of losing track. Between two playthroughs, it's getting a little bit difficult to remember what's what. Okay, so we got a knight. Let's bring the squire up with the rest of the cavalry, too. Okay. And just like that, we find ourselves back in our own territory. I went all the way down here and then had to run back around for Thractoria Castle. Some looters. Probably should have tried to intercept them. Might need to disband this army now because it's getting to the point where they are going to require some more influence thrown at them to stick around. Oh, cool. I'll take you. So yeah, I think I will disband this group. Hopefully I don't immediately regret that. Marunath isn't under siege as far as I know, and that's all I really care about. Cool. Ooh, that's a trained federati. Nice. I wasn't sure if we could even recruit them. The way it's set up in the script... Oh, Cervic, hello. The way it's set up in the scripts is I only set the initial kind of recruit level unit. But I guess it automatically kind of picks up from there. Where are you guys headed? Hopefully not here. If I need to, I'll reinforce Varen Castle, but I'm pretty sure there's enough there to deter them already. Let's see. I just went... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, 145, so 160. Not great, but still more than they have. He's going to try to take Thractoria Castle. Oh, I should check the character sheet. I never remember to look because it's behind my microphone. So Steward is now up to 100. So +2 party size for each fief we own. I'm assuming that means the villages, the cities, or sorry, the villages, the castles, and the towns. So we would own quite a few actually. This would give us like a +10 or +12 if it's what I'm actually thinking. If it's only the castles and the towns, then it's not really much. But I think the party speed is still the better choice. So parties in armies we lead move faster. I'm assuming that means my own party. But maybe only when we're in an army. But still, I think for the vast majority of this playthrough, especially if we're going to start our own faction, we'll probably be leading armies. So I think logistics expert it is. And that's the only thing that we have, right? Anybody else? Himmel. I still have yet to figure out what this number is. If you guys know, please tell me. Because it changes. Like it was a 1 before, now it's a 3. But, yeah, I still don't know what it's referring to. Alright, so we find ourselves in another siege. It looks like Cervic is trying to take Thractoria Castle. We were trying to run him off, but then Ekaran showed up, so we decided, we being me and Akios, who always seems to be around for some reason. So he's joined me. We're defending Thractoria Castle after retreating in here to avoid fighting these two. So we're just going to have to join in the defense. Hopefully nobody else piles in here other than these two. Even with these two, it's going to be kind of difficult, but I think we can hold them off with these numbers. But if, you know, another army like that shows up, now we're in a bit of trouble. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's getting bad. Oh, but we're being rescued. So let's leave the settlement and we'll fall in with these guys. No, no, no. Turn around. Get inside. Okay, now we can stop waiting. So we have, what, 91? That's honestly not going to be enough. Let's see. 29 Vlandian peasants. How many recruits though? 30 recruits. I mean, that's a decent army for an AI lord. I'm guessing his army's not nearly as elite. Yeah, 52 recruits. Well, I don't want to leave our guys hanging here, so I'm going to help him out. Okay, so just like before, I'm going to hand over control of everything except for my cavalry to the AI so that the infantry stays bunched together. Now, if we were smart, which we're not, because the AI is in control, we would just defend this high point right here or something. Because we are outnumbered, of course, but they're just going to go rushing in and get us all killed. So I'm prepared to lose my army here, but I didn't want to betray my my men, my fellow lords, I guess. Who is this? I don't know, but they're about to go down. If you're going to let me snipe you, I'm going to take advantage of it. Belgier. Okay, so Belgier's done. Cavalry, stay with me. Stay with me. Don't get caught up in that mess. We're going to do our best to harass the enemy rear lines when these two groups meet. Alright, here we go. Oh, interesting. I'll keep my shield up there. Yeah, so here's all their crossbows. Let's do our best to just cut them down. Did I really not hit anybody with that? Come on, cavalry. Help me out here. I swear to God I'm hitting people. It looks like the sword's going right through them. But maybe it's not. I don't know. But yeah, even if we just keep them on the move, we're doing more than enough. Because they can't shoot while they're backpedaling. I mean, they can, but they can't really reload. So we'll just keep kind of harassing them. And that should allow the front line to capitalize, because we've got archer support up there. They don't. I'm just hacking like a madman right now. It's not really doing much.
I'll split your skull.
Okay, now we got to be careful because there's a bunch of peasants with pole arms. Let's kind of run back to our main line here. We'll try to keep our forces together. It looks like we were pretty successful up here. Barreling down over some people. Let's try to break up this mass of enemies here. Cool, that worked out pretty well. I'm gonna cut some more of these dudes down. Yeah, I guess that didn't hit anybody. Oh boy. No, no, no. There goes my horse. That's unfortunate. Time to retreat. We'll fall back to the peasants. Cool. Alright, so we're safe now, kind of. If somebody gets dismounted... Oh god, that guy just steamrolled through us. Ouch. I just got shot by a crossbow, I think. Perfect. There's a horse. No, horse! Please! Please! Ah, come on. Alright, well... I'm gonna do my best to contribute here. Cavalry, go ahead and be AI controlled, because I can't really command cavalry when I'm on foot like this. I don't even know where that's going. Cavalry, charge. Do something. I'm gonna try to snag one of these horses. This actually looks a lot like my horse. Okay, apparently I'm not skilled enough to ride that horse. What are you guys doing? Oh, are you horse archers? Go ahead and charge. Yeah, there we go. That was why. You just got dismounted. Oh, that's my knight. I think he's going to grab that horse, because he's actually skilled enough to ride it. Yeah, I'll back him up. Nicely done. Sweet. Alright. Did you just drop both of them? I don't know what killed me right there. It said a crossbowman. I think he just literally got up and blind fired, which is kind of BS, but I guess possible. So, yeah. Alright, the battle's over. Let's see how we did. I lost 12. Unfortunately, a good chunk of it was cavalry, though at least some of it was the Vlandians, so I don't mind that as much. And then kind of a smattering of stuff here. It says that we lost 2 companions, but that's not actually possible right now. So they're just badly wounded. And yeah, Legionarii sucks, but you know, we'll recover. Good to see you as well. You really bailed us out from that siege. Lucan, I don't know that we have met before. You are a decent character, though. I think I will maybe let you go. Only +2. I was hoping for a little bit more than that. Aldrich, I don't recall. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think I've met you, and I don't recall if you're honorable. So you're going to be my prisoner. And we'll take all the prisoners and troops and whatnot. Oh, all you guys are ready to go. Okay. Yeah, we desperately need more infantry now. Almost all of it's gone at the moment. Got plenty of good archers, though. Just not going to count for much when we have to hold the line. Okay, so I'll probably leave it there for today. We've not really made up any ground against the Vlandians. We retook Thractoria Castle, but that was Western Imperial to start with, so we, you know, just kind of brought us back to status quo. At least we're no longer at war with the Battanians, so Marunath is safe from them. We don't have to worry about being attacked from both factions there. But the Vlandians could still make their way up there to besiege it. It is still one of the nearest towns to them. Of course, Lagada is roughly the same distance too. And then, of course, Varen and Thractoria Castle are probably going to see the most attention. Thractoria especially, because that's easier for them to get to. But yeah, next time around, I think we'll try to go visit Panalea. We haven't seen her in a while. And we definitely are able to go talk to her. It's just a matter of finding where she went. She was at Ox Hall. That's unfortunate, because I can't go there. Looks like she was taken prisoner by the Southern Empire recently, but she's no longer one because obviously she's in Vlandian territory. I just can't go there, so we'll have to wait until she leaves. What else? Yeah, I'll try to rebuild my army off camera so we can get back into things at the start of next episode. I don't want to make you guys sit around and watch me recruit because that's no fun. So I'll do my best to have a decent fighting force by next episode, I suppose. And what else? Don't forget to submit your candidates for governor of Marunath as well, because I'd like to introduce everybody to them next episode as well, and then the following episode will decide who the poll winner was and put them in charge of the city. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I had a great time playing some Bannerlord with you guys, and I look forward to seeing you back here for the next episode.